Welcome back to another episode of the YAWG Pod. This is my first episode in my new setup. This is like studio number 8 for me.
Your corner, you mean? It looks like a corner.
My corner.
Actually.
I'm in a corner in my living room, in front of the water heater. But I'm planning to put like a wall behind me. It's not like an actual wall, like a fake wall backdrop. And I got a story to start it off. It's a scenario that I want to propose to you. And
Wait, are you going to build a wall?
Yes.
Matthew, can you please explain to the audience why you're gargling snot right now?
I'm just sick. I'm congested. Anyway, that was gross. I'm going to cut that out of the podcast because no one wants to hear that.
Well,
and so
you have to explain to people why you're sounding weird.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows what someone who's sick sounds like.
Yeah, but
everybody in the history of
mankind
mankind.
Hop on and say, "Hey, dude, I'm not. This is why I sound a little goofy."
Hey, dude, I sound a little goofy. I'm congested. Anyway, I have a couple prefaces here. One, this is in no way meant to be disparaging to the intellectually disabled community. Two, I fully support this specific grocery chain employing intellectually disabled people. Three, you guys know this, and I'm sure the listeners have figured it out. Social situations, not my strong suit. So, my local Kroger, since Boone already said it, they, for some reason, sometimes just shut down the self-checkouts, which is my favorite thing. It's the self-checkout. I don't got to talk to people, just check out my groceries. I can organize my grocery bags the way I want to be organized, and whereas usually the grocery store just throws in random bags. And anyway.
Yeah, but you can't go to self-checkout with too many groceries because then you look like a jerk. I hate those people.
I do that anyway. I take that. That to me is the price of social anxiety.
Well, it depends. The Kroger by me in Boone only has 4 checkouts, self-checkouts. So
this one has 12, but sometimes they're not open. And today they weren't open, and there was only 2 lines open, and it's really busy. And so the setup at this Kroger is there's a cashier that has you put your stuff on the conveyor belt, it goes to the cashier. The cashier puts that on another conveyor belt, it goes to the grocery bagger to the end of the line. And the bags are at the end of the conveyor belt. So if there's someone bagging groceries, I can't reach the bags. This is all important later. Also important, I got a jar of wing sauce in a glass bottle, and it semi-resembled peanut butter. Now that we're there, I'm in line, people behind me, I got lots of stuff. The grocery cashier was an older man, 60s, could care less about grocery. He didn't talk to me, which I liked. But I didn't like what happened later when he wouldn't say anything. So my grocery bagger at the end of the other conveyor belt was intellectually disabled. Again, fully support that. But first thing that gets ringed up is this jar of wing sauce. And he picks it up. And he's looking at it. And as he's looking at it,
wing
groceries,
sauce, right?
Yeah, wing sauce. And it's darkest brown. It's Hooters wing sauce. Amber don't want me to say that. I said it was too distracting because people would just think about Hooters. But anyway, it's darkest brown. Sort of looks like peanut butter. The guy picks it up. And he's staring at it. And as he's staring at it, groceries piling up. Not being bagged. The groceries are not being bagged. Piling up. Lots of people behind me. And I'm just okay, this is cool. Not being bagged. I don't know how to do it. And then I look at the cashier, and he's still bringing it up. And I'm like, is he going to say anything? Still looking at the wing sauce. So I finish. He finishes checking me out. I put in my Kroger number, and then I pay and everything. And he gives me a receipt, and he's like, have a nice day. Groceries still not bagged. And then the guy with the peanut butter with the wing sauce looks up, and he goes, is this peanut butter? And I go, no, it's wing sauce. And he goes, it looks like peanut butter. I'm like, yeah, it does. And then it felt like an eternity, but 15 seconds go by. He finally puts it down. My question to you is there anything...
I thought neither of you could concede on what it was. I thought you all kept going back and forth.
No. My question to you all is there anything I could have done to make it less awkward? If I would have tried to bag my own groceries, that would have been awkward because that would have been you're not good enough to bag my groceries. Then I would have been mean. If I would have said, hey, can you bag my groceries? Mean, I'm ordering the guy around. I wouldn't do it even when he wasn't intellectually disabled, but that just added an extra level of cautiousness. 3, I think it was on the cashier to say something. But he didn't say anything either. And so it's just an awkward, silent, staring at the wing sauce, groceries piling up, long line behind me. And I'm just how do I find myself in these situations all the time? Is that on me?
Yes, 100%. It's on you, Matthew. Because I don't understand how you don't realize that. Why are you getting Hooters wing sauce?
I never had it before. People say it's good, and I just wanted to try new wing sauce because I've been trying a bunch of wing sauces.
It described to me. Is it honey mustard flavored? Why is?
No, it's buffalo sauce. It wasn't very good. I shouldn't have gotten
why
it.
does the color resemble peanut butter? Then
it's not. It was because the glass was. I think it was because of the glass because it wasn't that dark when I brought it out, but it was a brownish red color on the outside.
No, I mean, I think you did the right thing. I think you did the right thing to. The best way to do it is just sit there and wait. Like the situation figure itself out.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll say, to defend the guy though, the bagger, he's in his head. He thinks Hooters is coming out with a peanut butter sauce. So I get why he's distracted. I mean, that's like a whole. He's like probably blown away. He's like, wait a second. But no, I think if it's just me out in public, I'm a lot less socially awkward. I can handle situations better. But when you all around, I get embarrassed. But when there's nobody that knows me around, if the guy would have handed me a receipt and the bagger still hadn't bagged anything, I would have just pointed at him and been like, am I supposed to bag? And then hopefully he would have noticed and he would have taken over the situation.
Yeah, but
what did you do?
That
Bowen,
sounds rude.
I've seen you. Yeah, but Bowen wouldn't have said it like that. He would have said that, but Bowen would have said, "Hey, am I supposed you want me to bag?"
I would have said, "Am I supposed to bag? Should I bag?"
Yeah,
I would have addressed it.
He wouldn't
to
have
him.
said it all sarcastic, like, "Am I gonna bag? Am I gonna bag? You want me to bag my own groceries?"
And then I feel like privileged anyway. Like I can bag my own groceries. You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
And then
I do. I think that job is kind of pointless anyway. I think that the person at the end of the aisle, our Kroger has it too, and they have people bagging stuff, and I'm just like, guys, y'all could be doing something else. I can bag my own groceries, but I know there's people who need that. I mean, I'm not considering people like
I do support the bagging. And I wasn't even mad that he didn't bag him. I would have bagged him myself, but he was standing there in the way, and I couldn't bag him, and I can't order him around. I'm not his boss. And the cashier didn't say anything. So I stood there. It was probably 15 seconds. It felt like a lot longer. And I was like, this is so awkward. Why does it... Do you think it would have happened to you all? Or was it just happened to me?
Well, yeah, here's I'll put it 2 ways. Boone doesn't know what's going on. He's just out there doing his thing. He's not observant. I'm pretty observant, but I just ignore it. I went to Kroger and got yelled at. There's these 2 girls behind me, and I had a basket. And there's these 2 girls behind me, and one of them goes, "Who gets a bucket for 4 items?" And I looked down at my basket, and I knew she was talking about me.
Dang.
And I just was like, I just stayed straight. I was just like, I don't care. I'm not going to even turn around. I think she was just trying to be like flirty, but I was just like, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm just going to go pretend like I didn't hear her. Because I did have headphones in, too. That's a key.
Oh,
I was walking around with headphones
I was about to say, boy, you can't just pretend not to hear her.
That's a life hack. That's a life hack I've discovered. I always, I used to go grocery shopping with Amber. I love my wife, but it's very stressful grocery shopping with her because she's one of the people that, if something's 10 cents different, she sits there and compares them in the aisle, blocking the aisle for 10 minutes. And I'm like, just pick one and let's go. So I go by myself to the grocery shop and I take my headphones and I listen to a podcast. And sometimes the podcast ends and I'm just silent and I walk around. It's just like your own little relaxation. But another scenario that happened today, the time of recording, it's December 22nd, before Christmas. Kroger today, it's supposed to also winter storm where we are, and all the state workers in Frankfurt got out at 2 o'clock. And that's when I went to Kroger with my mom because she's scared to go to Kroger by herself. And we run into Coach Thompson in the beginning of the Kroger trip. Shout out Coach Thompson. He listens to this podcast. And it was a good, nice seeing Coach Thompson again, but it's this awkward thing that happens when you see someone in the beginning of your Kroger trip and then you just keep seeing them over and over and over again. You're just run out of things to say. And I'm like, how's it going? What's up? Is it going okay? Your Kroger going okay?
I was just about to ask, which would you rather, because I ran into somebody that I knew that I hadn't seen in a long time at the entrance of Kroger. That's also an awkward spot because you want to talk to them, but then also you're in the way. There's no way to stand. But I think I would rather do that than, because I've been in that where you see them, you keep seeing them, and then you just have to pretend like you didn't see them, or you go down a different aisle where you don't need anything.
Yes, I've done that. Not today though, because today the parking lot at Kroger was full, and there was a line almost to the intersection to get into Kroger. So it was he was like, "You guys gonna make it out alive?" And I was like, already texted Amber that I might not make it out.
Well, and people are prepping for
snowstorm, Christmas.
We could
it's
all be
a
dead
perfect storm of Kroger. But actually, shout out Kroger. All the checkout lines were open. All the self checkouts were open. It took me less time to get out today in the Christmas winter storm apocalypse crowd than it did in the beginning of storm.
Well, what I like to say is I think that I'm joking about you. I don't think it actually just happens to you. I think everybody's due for an awkward situation every so many days or weeks. But I think you've just had so many piled up here recently that you're going to have a break. You're going to have a long break. You can relax knowing that there's nothing happen. They happened to me. One happened today. I was out shopping for McKenna and Patterson, getting some Christmas stuff. And I was in the mall, and I was sitting there looking at a sweatshirt. And I looked to my left, and I saw him, and I was like, oh, he saw me, dude. He comes over. He's got his full-on white hat on, the suit on, the badges and everything, an Army recruiter. And he saw me, and here he comes over here wanting to talk to me. And I'm like, oh, God. So he comes over. He's like, hey, man, you ever considered the Army? And I'm like, come on, dude. Come on. I didn't say that, but I was like, yeah, I've considered it. I've thrown it around, like, I've done it, but I'm a teacher. I've already kind of made my
physically eligible.
I've already kind of made my. Well, clearly he's sizing me up, and he's like, hey, that guy looks like he's a physically dominant human specimen. But
you probably failed the physical, is what I'm saying, though.
But
all the concussions, all the injuries.
But he came over to me and he said that, and I was like, I'm a teacher. I like my job. I've already kind of chose my career path. He's like, well, and of course he doubles down. He's like, well, in my platoon, we have a teacher, and I'm like, well, listen, dude. I'm like, I'm still thinking about it, whatever it is. And then he's like, well, he just offered. He's like, let me give you my number. And I can shoot you a text and we can talk about it. And I'm like, he was like so aggressive about it. I'm like, oh. Like, I actually was like confrontational about it. I was like,
"Don't touch me there."
I was like, "Hold on." I was like, "Listen, my cousin, which my cousin is, works at the Boone Center. He's a sergeant at the Boone Center." I was like, "I can go talk to a recruiter anytime I want, bud." I was like, I'm good.
That's a good
Call
answer.
it Bud.
I was like,
I do.
Boone disrespecting the troops. Cancel Boone again.
No.
I want to add that to my
I
perks
love
of
the
being
military.
bald.
I would
young.
definitely go into it, but I've already kind of made that decision, especially having a child right now. It's not something I want to do.
Yeah, you don't want to go away.
Definitely not what
I forgot that was even something that could happen.
We
to
already
me, though,
gone
but I
to
doubt
college.
now that I'm bald, I would ever get approached. It's a
I
short
got
list
approached
of
at
perks.
GameStop one time. Hey, man, you like playing video games? You want to play video games in real life? Like, that's literally what his word. He had this like whole thing. I'm telling you, McKenna can tell you how many times I've been approached by a recruiter, and I'm just like, bro, I'm good.
They're sort of like this. We could get this guy.
This guy.
we could get him in the Army.
Well, I was making a joke about Owen. I came back and told
Stolen
Owen.
valor. Boone just stole valor again.
Well, I came back and told Owen because he was talking about. I told him how I saw him in Call of Duty, and like I'm just going off the meme that exists where they say that neckbeards live in Call of Duty. If you don't know what that means, look it up. But they're like neckbeards live in GameStop.
Look it up. Just look right here on the podcast.
But anyway, he's like, I was like, I wonder if the recruiter like pulls out a tape measure and like measures each person's beard. He's like, oh, this dude's neck his beard goes too long. He's not military material. I'm like, well, my beard doesn't grow at all, buddy.
Right. I will not stand for this disrespect of the troops. So
I think we were.
No,
disrespecting-
Boone's not calling Boone's not calling the troops neck beards. He's saying if the beard gets too long, where you become a neck beard, then you're not a soldier.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
all right.
I don't think.
Disrespecting gamers.
Yes, that's,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
it's
who I'm
more that,
disrespecting.
yeah.
That's 100%. If I'm disrespecting anybody, not the troops. Also, I'm not disrespecting baggers either. I respect the job. I think
Or the
Kroger
intellectually
they
disabled.
could be utilized in other ways. I don't really necessarily. That's why we do self checkout. That's why I love self checkout.
We are a zero disrespect podcast, except
for
the Nazis.
gamers and gamers,
Completely disrespectful.
not gamers as well. Gamers, especially those who are obsessed with Overwatch, have long hair that needs to be cut, and are sick right now. Those are the gamers that I.
No, but I agree. Baggers always use too much bags. I can get like a car's worth with like 4 bags.
Yeah,
I just
that's
got to
the
double
other thing.
bag it. But
It not only it makes it harder to carry in too. And like I like putting my groceries in bags where they go like I put all my cold stuff in one bag, all the frozen stuff in another bag, all the pantry items in another bag, all the like toiletries and stuff in another bag.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I feel you on that because I'm the same way. I stuff too much in the bags, but it comes back to bite you when that bag busts, and then I think to myself, I'm contradicting myself. Man, those baggers are right. When they double bag that,
you got to
that
double bag.
soda,
You got to
I
double
thought
bag.
when they
earlier.
double bag that milk, they knew what they were doing. They knew. What they
I
were
thought
doing.
of something earlier that I wanted to roast Boone for, and this is a perfect topic. Bowen said he saw you after you went to Kroger, and you had your groceries in your passenger seat. That's psychopath. That's psychopath stuff right there.
Literally
you don't
every
put your
time I
groceries.
I made fun of him for it. That's the first thing I said. He pulled up to the gas station. I was like, "Why are all your groceries in your passenger seat?" He doesn't have to go very far, which is fair. But
have
the passenger seat belt was just going off. It was just beep.
Yeah, that's not usual. Usually it's not that heavy, but I had to get a bunch of
Were
stuff.
you in your car or the RAV4?
RAV4?
That's even worse. That you have a whole hatchback for groceries.
You know what's in that hatchback? A stupid stroller that you have to navigate and things fall underneath. So I'd rather put it in the seat, Matthew. I'd rather
So,
put it in C.
Yeah, but also Kroger parking lots are pretty compact. That you're to get all
harder
your
to load 'em into
groceries,
your
you're gonna have to
groceries.
you gotta open your car door without dinging the door next to you and load them all up into the thing without the whole door thing's behind you. Okay, and then you're just hoping that car doesn't come while you're unloading because then you're gonna have to move half your groceries over here, let them leave, come back, hope nobody else is coming in because then you're gonna have to do that
I didn't
again.
know this was an issue. I've always put my groceries in my passenger seat. Trunk, that's
Psychopath.
too much work.
Put it on the
That's
list.
too
If
much
it's
work.
one or two, if it's
That's too
one
much
bag,
work.
I'll do that.
Yeah, one bag, but
At
your
least
whole
I can
groceries?
watch it. At least I can watch it. I can be like, oh, that milk's rolling around. Let me grab it. Let me do that. Like
Why do you
if
think
it's in my
roll?
trunk,
has to
and I
live.
take a turn and things are just rolling around and cantaloupes are going every which way. I mean,
You got to strategically place it in the trunk.
you shoot your place, or you get a
No,
trunk
that's too
organizer.
much
Or what I
thought.
do is I get a box. I got like a
Oh my
wine
God.
box
Listen
from
to
like
this guy.
moving.
Listen to this
I
guy.
put all my fragile stuff in the box, and then I put everything else around it. Boom, it's a problem solved.
Matthew, you're the only one out here going out getting Hooters freaking wing sauce. So you're the only one getting
I got it
fragile
once
crap.
and it
anyway.
sucked. I disavow Hooters wing sauce. It wasn't good.
Yeah, and actually, I like the direction we just went with that conversation because it kind of ties into where I was going. Because I wasn't actually going to say, I was just going to say this to Matthew. It was just going to be a fun little inside joke we could both have, between the two of us.
Yeah, I don't
But I
like
just-
when y'all have those.
I did some thinking recently when I went up to Indianapolis to go see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I drove myself. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I want to publicly say this just so I can have it on record. But it took me a while to think about this, to come to this conclusion. Our friend, Joshua Boone, third member of this podcast,
Oh my, what are we doing?
is
do we-
not good at driving. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
sorry.
yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
I
yes, yes,
recently he took me to Frankfurt. He took me back, and I was re-exposed to it all over again. And listen, I don't even want to go in. I'm not even going to
Examples
go
right
into the
now.
argument. I don't want to go
I
into
have
the
plenty
argument
examples.
because it's
I
a
have
losing
examples.
battle. I just like everything that I say that I'm correct
got me
about. The
riled up
truth
now.
will come out.
Okay.
The truth will come out.
I would like Boom before you say.
Oh, I'm going hard.
100% agree.
Hard. I'm going
Boone,
hard.
we had to. I don't remember
going
where we drive
hard.
together for. We drove to Indiana together. I figured out one of the main issues is you don't brake when you turn. You just you're fleeing across the seat.
Okay.
And you also don't look when you get over into the lane. You just let's go. And then I say there's an exit coming up, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you don't get over when we miss the exit.
No, we missed like 3 turns when I drove with him because he can't multitask. He's either having a conversation and we
listen,
missed the turn, or we're sitting in quiet.
Get it all out. Get it all out because I'm about to lay it down. Get it all out. Got any more? You want
No, I don't have any. I wasn't even going to break. I don't want to defend myself. I just wanted to get it out
I
there.
don't want you to defend yourself because I want to let the public know.
Wait, hold on. I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
I've never been more scared for my life than when we would have to drive to the Penn Station with Boone's car where the idle didn't work and you had to drive with 2 feet.
No headlights. Don't forget that. No
While
headlights.
watching Phil Collins and
While he was trying to show me YouTube videos of gorillas playing the drums
Okay, listen.
while driving.
I got many rebuttals, but I'm just going to start here. I 100% am a good driver. What I know I'm not is a smooth driver. I know I'm not a smooth driver. Paul's the smooth driver. Paul, you get in there, you feel like you're with your granny, okay? You ain't going to get that with me. What I am is very keen at not getting into accidents. Unfortunately, the 2 other YouTubers in here, or whatever you want to call them, podcasters in here, are very much so keen to getting in accidents. Bowen
Never hit another car.
Oh, you're right, Matthew. You're right, Matthew. You might not have hit another car, but you did hit a fire hydrant.
Yeah,
Fire
but that
hydrant.
was...
A
I had
fire
my
hydrant.
permit.
3 feet off the road. 3 feet off the road.
You've
3
had
feet off
10
the road.
years to learn how to drive.
3 feet off the road. And then here we go. Bowen, I don't know, countless times. He just bumps the truck into this, bumps the truck into that. I mean, whatever it is. Sydney had to get a whole new car because Bowen wrecked hers. I mean, we're going.
Keen doesn't mean it's something that happened 6
You're
years ago.
supposed to not get an accident. That's not part of being a good driver. That's just driving.
I know. So what I'm saying is, your all's level of understanding driving, you don't understand it because you guys get in accidents.
No, we don't get in accidents. I haven't been in an accident.
I didn't have a speeding ticket.
I don't
Neither
either.
have I.
I don't
Bowen,
either.
Please, you've been arrested.
Not one speeding ticket.
Not for speeding.
Not one speeding ticket.
But I distinctly remember getting a call.
You know what else I never have had? You know what else I never have had? A gun pulled on me in traffic because I messed up so bad.
No,
That's never happened to me.
But I literally, you got a call. A call about you you're pulled over in a ditch on the easiest turn to get onto New Circle. The easiest turn.
It's a rear-wheel drive car, and there's a truck, and there's no weight in the back, and it was rainy and wet.
You are giving me a headache. I can already just see how dumb this is going. Listen,
All the examples you brought
I'm
up
not saying
are
I'm
from over half a decade ago.
I'm not saying I'm a smooth driver. That's all I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the only reason, first off, in context of me
Refuses
missing those
to get
turns,
over in the left lane.
Yeah.
When we got off the exit,
Me
in
missing
Frankfurt
those
recently,
turns in the left lane.
they just have repainted the exit to get off into Frankfurt.
me
okay, the
missing
first
those.
exit.
Yes.
Boone sees it and goes, "What the crap is this? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing." He just decides all the paint, whatever. It just goes where he usually used to
listen.
go.
All context considered, the reason I
I
missed
was
a
not
few
expecting
turns
this,
is
and it's
because
amazing.
the turns I missed with Bowen was because he was showing me to go a back way to his house that I didn't like going to. That's a big reason why. So I didn't know where he was going. Bowen's bad at directions because all he wanted to do, he was drunk, by the way, and he was fighting me.
We weren't going to my house.
You were picking the songs. All Bowen wanted to do was pick my music on my radio, and that's all
Oh,
he
I
wanted
don't remember
to do.
the ride home. I'm talking about the ride there.
No, the ride there, it was fine. Literally, you were on your phone
last
the whole
time-
No, remember we were late, and it was Matt's house. Yeah, that's what it was. We were
The last
late.
time we drove to Indiana. Well, okay, Boone, I'll give you some props. There is nobody that I've ever met that drives better backwards. Okay, backwards driving,
that
Boone.
props.
You might as well
I
call
don't want
Boone
that
toe
gas.
gator.
I don't want that gas. What I want is nonsense out of the way of us talking about my
But
driving.
when we drove to Indiana the last time, we missed like 4 exits, and I would be like, "We got an exit up in 5 miles," and then I'd be like, "This exit's coming up in 2 miles," but still in the left lane, still cars tailgating them, not getting over.
Not getting
I'm like,
over.
this exit's in half a mile. He's still in the left lane. I'm like, there's our exit. He's
I
like,
will
oh.
admit that when it comes to big city driving, I'm not the best. When it goes through Louisville or Indianapolis, I am not the best because I am not good at the quick getting over. You know, I just stay in my lane and kind of hang out there.
The driving?
Matthew,
The
you need.
driving.
I don't understand. It might be a decade ago, but it's on your record. A car.
It's not my record.
It's damaged.
Not my
it's
record.
It's
Yeah,
on your
no.
Boone record.
Wow.
Your Boone record. I have written down. Boone record.
You have did all our permanent files they always warn us about. It's just Boone keeping them.
Yeah.
And it's noggin, like you
I
said
have
earlier.
Boone records, and your Boone record says cannot be trusted. Hits fire hydrants. That's what
It's
your Boone
pro-
record says.
You all were together when you all got called. The police called on you in high school for donutting.
Precisely. Bowen
Yeah,
has
but
been
whose
chased
idea
by
was
the
that?
police. Chased by the police.
It wasn't
Paul,
my idea, though.
Paul literally drove his car off a wall, and Matthew ran. Okay, this is all things that have happened with your all's cars. How many times we've been in an accident in my car? Zip, nada, not
yeah,
happened.
but let's not forget after prom on the East-West Connector when you
Hey, I was
almost
all fine.
died. You
was
skirted
all
off
fine.
onto the side of the thing.
All
Only
fine.
one of us is
Luckily-
falling asleep at the wheel.
All fine. All fine.
Yeah,
It's
I've
all
never fallen
fine.
asleep.
First off, you want to bet me money you ain't never fall asleep?
Yeah, I don't get that. I can't sleep in cars. First of all, I never can. I can't sleep if I'm a passenger
Yeah.
in a car.
You're right. You've never slept in a car, but I can guarantee you've pooped your pants in your driver's seat before.
That has nothing to do with the ability to drive the vehicle. But sure, that's happened.
Okay,
yeah,
you put
okay. It happens to the best of us.
you put a perfectly capable driver versus a diarrhea inducing driver. And which one are you gonna trust?
I'd rather
I mean,
make
I'd rather
it there
smell a
on
little
time.
poop than have
Okay,
somebody
okay.
threaten to murder.
Just to like go off on that tangent, Bowen's. I can't tell the difference between Bowen farting and Bowen pooping his pants. So it's gonna smell like that anyway. I'd rather get our exits in, not miss exits.
All right, let's wrap this up because every time we start going into the poop jokes, everybody gets mad.
Yeah. Okay, I got one more thing. I think this isn't really a hot take, but it's something that I have just recently started to experience, and I want to shout out to all the parents out there. Shout out Boone. 2, I have a niece who is entering kindergarten, and I, as a supportive uncle, in kindergarten, go to events that she asked me to go to, but usually only when she like asks me in person, because then I can't say no. So I agreed to go to their Christmas play, and I want to put this story in there because I proved Amber wrong, and it was great. So like it's like the week before the Christmas pageant play, whatever it is, and he's like, "Will you come to my Christmas play? I'm a spy," and I'm like, "That sounds like a cool Christmas play. Sure, I'll go." And then like so we're the day of the play. Amber's like, I'm like, what is this about? Annie said she was a spy. She's like, Annie is not a spy. They just sing Christmas carols. And I'm like, she told me she was a spy. She's like, she's confused. She's not a spy. And so then we get there, and as soon as we walk in, it was like music. It was like God answering my prayers. Spy music playing as soon as we walk in the door. It's like because they're waiting for like the play to start. There's spy music playing, and I was like,
I bet
and
that
it's
felt
called
good.
like it was, and it's called like Christmas intelligence something. Christmas intelligence kids. It was supposed to be like CIA, but it was the Christian Academy, so it was extra lame. So my main point here, all children's pageants should have a time limit. And I propose 20 minutes, but I could see 30 being fair. This thing was an hour and 20 minutes of and two, the mics didn't work. The mics cut in and out the whole time. I couldn't even follow it. Their songs, luckily, because it had like 20 lines on the song list, and I was like, there's no way there's 20 songs. But some of the songs were like multiple lines on the title. I was like, oh gosh, thank you. But an hour and 20 minutes when it's hot in there, it's basically like a disease center, and it was very very uncomfortable, hot. I'm not going to say that they can't sing, but elementary schoolers can't really sing, and it was the plot too simple. I needed some more complex plot going on. Other than
I would argue any type of theatrical event limit to an hour. Okay, nobody wants to be there, and the people who do want to be there, the people who are with them don't want to be there for longer than an hour.
Yes,
Just an
I
hour.
would say less than an hour. I wanted to die at 30 minutes. So
I would say
yeah.
you were at a unique experience. I'm not going to say a limit. I'm just saying whenever they give you the little pamphlet, all I care about is that you stick to the pamphlet. Whenever we go to like a graduation speech and it's like, hey, he's going to do this for 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, dude, rock solid, 20 minutes. I can do that. I mean, that's still too long, but I can do that. I go on 45 minutes. This dude's still talking at EKU, and I'm like, dude, come on, dude. We got the rest of this stuff to get
I
on
never
to.
walked once. I didn't walk in any of my graduations because I was like, I'm not.
As long as you stick to like when it says intermissions, this ending here. As long as you stick to the time, as long as I can set goals in my mental little head, I can work with any of it. I can work with all of it. But I feel like you were in a hot situation, uncomfortable, simple plot. Some of those things could have been fixed. Okay, you get a director.
I think the proposal for all theatrical events is to just they're mostly in schools, have a classroom or multiple classrooms where the people that don't want to be there can just go be like sneak. They offer like a covert. They have a covert designated path to leave without the nieces and nephews and children noticing. Or like hold on, they take a picture of the crowd, okay, and they record some noise. And then they close the curtains back so the kids can't see. They pull a big curtain down that has the picture of the crowd on it, so it looks like everybody's there. They have the crowd noise going. Everyone can just leave.
Matthew, I want to compliment you. I want to go ahead and end the podcast on a compliment to you getting us to get these microphones because they're really good. I really feel like I'm inside your nose drinking your snot myself.
Thank you.
I was wondering where that was going to go. I was like, you're not just going to compliment.
Like
Matthew
it's so
Randall on
good.
the Recommendation of the microphones.
We'll give the award out this week. Worst driver in the friend group, Boone. And we'll end it there. Thanks, guys.